Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm David, and this is Fresh Face New Ideas. If you like what I say, or you want to, support me, or you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe to this video. Please follow me on Twitter at Faces Ideas, or you can listen to me on the Center Life Radio podcast. So, this video is going to go back. We're still covering CPAC. CPAC is still going on. Like I said in my CPAC video, I heard one of their speakers talk about the Hertiage Foundation and how the Hertiage Foundation has found like 1,300 cases of voter fraud, and that's why we need to be more secured in our elections. That's why this election was unsecured and shouldn't count because of these 1,300 cases. So two things wrong with there. One, even if all 1,300 cases occurred in this election, the 60 court cases where they said they had a mountain of evidence, they didn't show any of it. So it's not clear where where they would get the votes in order to overturn this election. There's that in general. Also, we're going to take a look at this because I do not believe that this database, because I've taken a look at this prior to this, covers just this election. So it's 1,300 cases spread over a while. I think the actual date is 1979. We're going to go double check right now. So we're going to go to the Hertiage Foundation, to their voter fraud chart. And this is, according to the Fox News speaker, this is one of the reasons you have to have more secure elections. All right. Okay. So a sampling of recent election fraud cases from across the United States. This is their overview of it. This their big scary numbers. So there's a 1,311 proven instances of voter fraud, but 200 of those haven't been criminally convicted. Then there's been 48 civil penalties. What's a diversion program? Judicial findings and official findings. Search the database because they have something there. Key definitions. What was the one that I didn't find? Judicial findings. A finding by a court of law that fraud occurred in an election, including judicial or orders overturning election results or ordering a new election due to fraud. Okay. All right. So this is how they break it down. If you want to look into it, we can look into it later. So I've set this for a specific thing. So it's any state because we want to know all of them. Refined year by deposition. So this is when it was filed. So this goes all the way back to 1979. So we're not looking at that. Their theory is there's been voter fraud in this election. That's why we need to do this. If we're talking about since 1979, there have been 1,000 cases of voter fraud, and that's why we need to radically change our system, and that's why people shouldn't trust the elections in America. You're a lunatic. Let's just do a calculator. We're gonna pull up a calculator real quick. So there was about 150 million votes. 150 million, and they're saying that there was what is the exact number that they put on this? Let's give them all of it. 1,311. Okay. So we're going to take 1,311 and we're going to divide it by 150 million. That would equal 0.00000008788%. Okay, let's round it up. 0.0000009% of voter fraud in this case. This is if every single instance in this database was in this election. And look, 150 million is a rough estimate because it was a little bit more than that. Because it was about maybe a little bit less. But that's the point. We're talking less than 1/10 of 10, 100,000. We're talking like less than a millionth of a percentage. That's if every single one of these cases was in this election, which they won't be. And here's how we're going to see it. So we're going to go any state, refined by deposition year. So we'll go to 2021. Okay, refined by any type of case, and then we'll go through them or any. Okay, let's see. Have there been any depositions for this year? Oh, okay. This has 2 depositions. And it is a fraudulent use of absentee ballots. With charge of impersonating voters after he forged his daughter's signature on an absentee ballot in the 2020 general election. He impersonating a voter. So this is one vote. One vote. And this is petition ballot frauds. A candidate petition, Timothy Mendez, a candidate for the Morgantown City Council, falsified. Morgantown, this is not even the general election. This is the central, this is a city council, falsified 21 signatures for his nomination, including 1 deceased person. He pled guilty to 1 count of falsely filing. Okay. All right. So look, that one's not this, that one's, bad. It's not clear how much that was, but neither of these have to do with, but this is 1 vote for the general election. Let's go to 2020. Submit by any. Okay. Oh, it looks like there's a whole lot more. But wait, that's not entirely true because a whole bunch of these are redundant. Okay. First off, this isn't even 2020 either. Randy Juniper voted twice in the 2016 general election. 2016, that was 4 years ago. The deposition is now being filed. So this is misleading at best. False registration. Pleaded 6 counts of felony fraud for falsifying voter registration forms. Falsified a number of voter registration cards by changing party affiliations and forwarding. These were submitted to the Register of 2019. Okay, so this could have been 2020, but it doesn't appear to be. Ballot petition fraud. Forged signatures for a referendum initiative and paid a $5 fee per signature. She was reported to forge 100 signatures, most of which were actually county residents. Peterson was charged with 10 counts of perjury by declaration, 2 years in county jail. So this person was caught 100 signatures. That's not great. Buying votes. Okay, so this is the one, this Skid Row one. So I'm going to go back to this because there's a couple of them. Ballot petition fraud with signing referendum. This is the same thing as the Jaspers were doing the same thing. Hold on, go down. All right, let's go Louis Weiss. This is the Skid Row one. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. This is Skid Row, so that's 3 for Skid Row. This is 4 for Skid Row. Los Angeles Parts Give Home. This is 5 for Skid Row now. Okay, so in California, all of these are either the Skid Row one or the petition one. Okay, that's what they have there. And keep in mind, this is only in California. They did not dispute the California results. So these are all misleading here too. Ballot. Where are we in? Dolores Crawley found guilty of failing to mark a ballot as instructed when assisted. This is a misdemeanor, failed to mark a ballot, so they probably put the wrong thing. Holy crap. All right, so they rejected a whole lot of ballots in this case. Okay, so this one is bad, but this is for a city council. This is not for the general election. Okay, so this is one of the other ones. Laura Seeds is this one. Oh, this is for 2016 of several ballots in favor of running for mayor. Okay, so this is not an accurate one either. Worked as a campaign staffer for the GOP candidate in the 2nd Congressional District. So this is her. This is a Republican breaking the rules here. Didn't think they would do that one. Convicted felony on probation. Okay, so this one is a guy who could have not known that he wasn't allowed to vote even though he was a felon. And this is the criminal conviction, ineligible voting. This one is a little worse. They did it allegedly. They did it on purpose. So let's go to the Skid Row one because I pulled up their link to this. So this is July 29th. 4 plead guilty to voter fraud schemes on Skid Row. So 4 men have admitted their roles in a scheme where money and cigarettes were offered to homeless people on Skid Row in exchange for false and forged signatures on ballot petitions. for this, and then this is their names. Pleaded guilty. These indictments indicate the crimes occurred in the 2016 and 2018 election cycle. So, what did we see? Not a single one of their voter fraud things took place in 2020. None of them. And as we pointed out through the math, none of them had, even if all of them had occurred in 2020, which by their own database it does not show, that wouldn't have changed the outcome. So, look, voter fraud does happen. It absolutely happens. The problem is it happens on small scales, and it's so inconsequential that it cannot overthrow a general election. It can't happen. Look, there are some of these that are problem with them within mayoral races that do need more scrutiny, I guess. I would have to look into the individual cases, but on smaller races, it is a problem. But to say that because we have all of this evidence, which their evidence doesn't even back up their claim, we have to change how we do elections is just wrong. It just doesn't back up with their claim. So what did we learn? They're going to claim voter fraud based on these cases, but like we just showed you, even the cases that occurred in the most general reading of their own data can't change the election. It doesn't. So this idea that we have to do all this voter reform and that their whole thing is, at CPAC is the elections were rigged and we have to protect them, and people don't understand and don't believe in our election system. It's because they've been lying to you. They just are. And I just proved it. Their data is wrong. It's not accurate. Okay. So thank you for watching. If you like what I do, please like and subscribe, or follow me at Twitter at FacesIdeas. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.